What's going on, guys? So today I want to give you an update on these three knives that I just recently shared that all have issues. They're broken and need to be fixed. So I kind of looked into some of these things and have made a conclusion on what I'm going to do. Two out of these three are going to be sent back to the companies. Okay, the first one is the buck knife. All right, as I showed in the first video, there's significant blade play on here. Now, I had a couple comments on how I could fix this. Someone was talking about there being a set screw. There's a hole. Now, there's a hole here. I'm not really sure how that would affect anything. I don't really know what this hole is for. However, you could see this this lock bar. How this works is there's two screws that mount it to the back of the frame here, and there's a cutout, a square cutout, and then a square piece that goes through it, so it's not able to move in any direction. That's supposed to keep it still. So I'm not really sure what that hole's for, if there really is a set screw in there or not. I don't really know. Part of me thinks that, you know, I can get a lot of the blade play out by adjusting the pivot screw, as well as making sure these are tight. But I didn't touch this since I got it. Because there's an issue and there's blade play in it, I just want to send it back as is. Again, this is supposed to replicate just the average user. You buy a knife, you use it, all of a sudden there's blade play. What if you don't have, you know, the simple tools that are needed to fix this? What if you don't understand that, you know, adjusting these different things may take that blade play out? So I just, you know, the average person is probably just going to send it back to have it fixed. And that's why I wanted to replicate. So although, just like with the case knife, I might be able to resolve the problem myself, I just want to see what these companies are going to do for their customers, okay, for a very common situation. By the way, the case knife, I still have not gotten it back yet, but it is, you know, at case being worked on. So, yeah, this buck knife is going to go back. Went to the website, and this is their repair form, so you print this out. They have the address of where it's going to be shipped. You put basic information, name, address, city, you know, state, stuff like that. Here you're going to put the knife model and description of the knife. In this case, it's a Buck Marksman, and then it says repair work requested. It says provide as much detail as possible. In this case, I'm obviously going to write down that there is blade play. Now on the bottom here, all right, this is kind of an important part. There's two boxes you could check off. These are, it says 2 services offered through our warranty department. The first one is a reblade. If not found to be a manufacturer defect, it's only 10 bucks. That's really cool to know. So that means if you have any buck knife and you break the blade for some reason and they feel like it's your fault, it's only 10 bucks to put a new blade on there. That is really cool. Now keep in mind, obviously, if you have a much older knife, they may not have that available. Not 100%, you know, what's going to be available. It will more than likely be current production stuff. But that's just really cool to know. So if you accidentally just, you know, you're using your knife to pry something, an expensive buck knife, or even a cheap one, whatever, and it means something to you and you break that blade off, cool, 10 bucks, so you get a replacement blade. Now, obviously, if they find that it's a manufacturer's defect, they'll do it for free. And then the other one is the spot treatment. Now, this says specifically sharpen, polish, and adjust. And that's $6.95 for the spot treatment. Now, that's a little curious to me, the word adjust. Now, I don't care if this is resharpened. I don't care if they polish anything. I'm not worried about that. But what does adjust mean? Are they going to charge $6.95 to adjust the blade play out? I don't really know. We're going to find out. So I'll keep you posted on that. So that's number one, is the buck is definitely going back to buck. The second one is the Piranha knife. Okay, now this is the Piranha X, which I absolutely love. Now here in Pennsylvania, I'm not legally allowed to carry automatic knives out and about in public. So realistically, I'd love to use this knife. I'd love to carry it. In its current configuration with a broken spring, it just becomes a button lock. I can, you know, flick it open very easily. There's no blade play. All right, I could flick it shut. You know, it's really kind of cool just as a button lock. But it's supposed to be an automatic knife, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to fix it. Now, I went to Piranha's website. I contacted them through email. I said, hey, I have a Piranha X in plum. That's the coloration here. It's called plum. As you can see, it's purple. Which, by the way, is harder to find. I was looking like on BladeHQ and stuff. They don't have the purple one. I mean, most of them are sold out anyway. But I don't know if they even ever carried the purple one. But regardless, I contacted the company. I said, I just have a broken coil spring. you know, is that something that's covered under the warranty? And I got a response back today, and they said, yeah, sure, send it in, we'll fix it up for you and get it back to you. So that's very cool. So this one is going back to Piranha. Now, just as a reference, if you do not want to send it back to them, if you go to BladeHQ as well as, you know, other places, they sell a replacement coil spring. You could do it yourself, okay? In this particular case, there is 3 body screws. You pop those off, you know, obviously half the handle comes off. And replacing a coil spring is really straightforward. I mean, if you just look at it for a couple minutes, you'll understand how that works. But I'm sure there's videos online on how to replace coil springs. I might have made a video in the past, I don't remember. But coil springs are very common spring mechanisms for automatic knives, especially push-button automatics. Okay, so it's called a coil spring because it's coiled up. Imagine like a snake that's ready to strike. And you have part of it that is in the blade and part of it that's in the handle. And when you have the knife open, that spring tension is released. As you close the knife, you're building up pressure. It's, you know, getting harder and harder, then it obviously snaps shut. So all that pressure is built up. So when you push the button, it releases it, and that spring uncoils basically inside the knife and shoots the blade open. That's how that works in an automatic sense. But like I said, coil springs are pretty straightforward to replace. If you wanted to buy one, I think BladeHQ sells it for like $7. That's an alternative option. So if you want to just put it in yourself, you don't want to worry about shipping it, you know, off to somewhere or back to the company. At least it's an option, which is nice. I kind of thought I might do that, but I said, you know what, no, I'm just going to send it back to Piranha because it's covered under warranty anyway. It's still going to cost me $7 or, you know, $7.80, whatever it is for, you know, priority shipping. But I want to have that experience and see, you know, see what they're doing. So that is also going back to the company. Now here's where I changed my mind. On the 940, we're going to replace the springs ourselves, okay? Someone actually mentioned that they sell Omega springs on Etsy. So I checked it out, and they do, in fact, sell them there. They're like $6 or $7, but they also have them on eBay. I ended up buying a set on eBay. I actually have my receipt here off to the side. They're selling them for $6.99. There's one seller in particular. It's Samuel Custom, and they have hundreds of these things. I don't know where they got them from. But they're selling them for $6.99. The shipping was $2.89, and I had 60 cents tax. I don't know if that's just because I'm in Pennsylvania. But anyway, the total was $10.48 for me. But essentially, you know, they're $7 plus shipping. So for $7, I took the chance, and we're going to get a set of those Omega springs, and I'm going to install them. So number one, if you have this similar problem where your Omega springs break, and you want to install them yourself, you'll know how. It's pretty straightforward. I don't know if I've done videos on this before. I'm pretty sure I took the axis lock apart in, you know, previous videos years ago, like maybe a Griptilian or something, but I don't know who's seen those. So we're gonna do a brand new video of me installing them. So, you know, in my case, for $10, I'll get the springs probably quicker than I would get the knife back. I have to imagine it's only gonna take a couple days for those to arrive in the mail. And then I can, you know, fix this knife myself. I don't have to worry about shipping it off to Benchmade and possibly getting a charge. I don't know offhand if they charge for replacement springs. Maybe you guys can comment down below if you sent yours in because of broken Omega springs. It'd be helpful for people to know. But we're gonna do it ourselves, okay? So if you're kind of more hands-on and you have the very basic, you know, screwdrivers and tools to take these knives apart, you might wanna do it yourself, all right? So it's a lot easier and faster. So that's the update. The Marksman's going back to Buck to get fixed. The Piranha's going back to Piranha to get fixed. This I already know they're not going to charge for the repair. This I don't know yet. We're going to find out. And then obviously when those springs arrive, we're going to go ahead and fix this ourselves. So there you go. Stay tuned for those videos in the future. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. And I thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.